Hello guys, okay, welcome back to my channel. Yeah, so please, we're still requesting you try to subscribe if you've not, and then like and share with your friends. So today we continue with another topic in Sci 101, research method in psychology, the research methods. So you watch the word there, search, to search for something, and then you're having I think that's one you guys call prefix, right? Re. Yeah, so re, so it's just a word connoting to do something again and again, so to search again and or investigate again. Yes, so the word research, and we already emphasized on the kind of research that science is having research at um, the in fact the most one of the most important aspect of science, and we discussed it that in science it's not about the conclusion that matters, but the procedure, or the how did we get to the result. So we today talking about the methods in research in psychology. Yes, we are looking at case study research method. We are going to be seeing survey method. We will see the correlational studies. We will also look at the others, yeah, the experimental, the quasi experiment, or call it the quasi experiment, yes, and other methods of research. So for the purpose of this course, Sci 101, we will not go deep, but we'll try to highlight the specific things you'll be looking out for in your exams. So majorly, yes, starting with case study, we understand that when we say case study, we are looking at a kind of research that only utilize few subjects, or say few participants, so that is case study research. Just few participants are involved in it. It can't pass, if it's more than 12, it's no more case study. So we often use case study when we want to get case study provides us with very vital raw data that may be used for a larger research. Yes. So okay, imagine let's say you want to, as a psychology student, you want to run a research on the role of is it the behavior or the temperament of let's use the word stammerers, people that stammer or stutter, in the university or in your school. You understand that in your environment, let's say from your class, you may see only one person that stutters, or one or two persons. In the whole of the school, you may not see more than 100 and all of those things. So and you cannot readily get all of them together. So you understand that this kind of research, you may use just 1, 2, 3 persons, and 4 and 5 and 6, and run a case study on them. So we often use this type of method when the participants that possesses the not the participant, when the population is few, the population of interest, that's what we call them, or those persons that or the characteristics of the population that possess the behavior of interest is few. Yeah, so we use case study, and like I said, it helps for in-depth analysis of information that can be used for other research. Yes, there is a lot. Like we talked about some theories before, the classical conditioning theory, the operant conditioning theory. These are experiments that were done, or these are theories that were propounded with case study experiments. Ivan Pavlov used the dog experiment to propound that, the classical conditioning, while BF's gonna use pigeon. They don't need thousands of it. Yeah. So moving on. So that is The major thing about case study we need to know for this exam, I may not want to talk about the limitations. We'll talk about that in another course. Yes, another course have to consider these ones in a deeper sense. So that is case study. Like I've emphasized, it wouldn't go beyond 12, or let's say yes, 12 or 10. Few participants, that is a key word in case study research. Then we have survey method. Survey method, keyword, large participants. Another keyword, or secondly, makes use of questionnaires. So please, is expedient, we remember that it uses large participants, it goes with questionnaires majorly. Yes, that is for survey method. Yes, and so in survey method, here we often talk about two types of research also in survey method, the cross-sectional and the longitudinal research method. Yes, the cross-sectional is when we do it at the same point in time. Yes. For example, I may decide to know people's attitude towards gay marriage. As a psychologist, I may want to decide that if I want to use cross-sectional method, that means I may want to consider what do the adolescents say about it? What do the younger ones, the youths, maybe 20 to 30, what do they say? What of the 35, the adults, 40, 50? Then what of the older ones? You understand that the adolescents will have different opinion. The young ones, the Gen Zs, the men people, they'll be like, it's a choice, you know. But before you get to 70, 80, you'll be hearing words like it's an abomination, like that, yeah. So you understand that we can do cross-sectional at the same point in time. I can get 100, okay, let me not be too much, because one of the limitations of this survey research is that it's expensive. It takes time too. So imagine 20 participants, 20 adolescents, 20 youths, 20 adults and older ones like that. So when you collect this and share the same questionnaire and trying to see the attitude about gay marriage at the same point in time, at the same time, that, you know, this is what we call cross-sectional. On the other way around, longitudinal research method, this particular one, we call it time series across different or multiple time series. Yes. So I may monitor those adolescents that were like, I don't know what is gay marriage. Before they get to 20 years, you come back with the same research and you hear their opinion. Before they get to 40 years, you understand they are getting matured and they are seeing the effect of gay marriage in their environment. You will collect data again. Before they get to 60 and 70, when their body is saying, I have no interest in all these things, you know, you collect your data again. You compare all this, you know. Anyways, I just use that gay marriage as an example, right? So, but this is how it goes. 10 years later, 20 years later, 30 years later, you come back. Another 10 years pass, you come. Another 10 years, this 50 now, you come again, you know. So this is longitudinal research method. It's when you hear this word, smokers are liable to die young. Yes, this is a correlational study that has been able to infer causation. Yes, that was done through longitudinal research method. They didn't just gather smokers and ask them, okay, now you are smoking, right? Are you going to die young or not? No. You find out that you can't do cross-sectional research with that. Although if you want to do that, that means you have to collect data considering like how many years have you been smoking? Have you any ailment? Well, longitudinal research, that statement was a conclusion gotten from a longitudinal research method where they followed over time some persons that take some drugs, or yes, tobacco to be precise this time. Yeah, that is by the way. So that is survey research, like I said. large participants user questionnaires. So we have the naturalistic observation. I may need to point out here. So here, this particular type of research considers those behavior of interest in their natural setting. Yes, they don't gather them to question them. They only go and maybe participate in those environments or stay in that environment and monitor them and see how they are behaving and everything without allowing them to discover you are monitoring them. Yes, so in naturalistic observation, there are two major problems I may need to highlight here. That is problem of reactivity and problem of delimiting behavior. You know, when individuals are in their natural setting, you may be interested to know their attitude towards the weather, right? Let me use that for example. Their behavior towards the weather is not the only, they are not responding to only the weather at that point you came. And you're not interested to ask them, you want to monitor them or observe them in their natural behavior, natural setting. That means they may be responding to the person around them, they may be responding to hunger, they may be responding to account, yes, their financial state or unemployment. So you see that there are many problems occurring at the same point in time, and this time you have problem to do what? Know which of them you are going to observe, or when are they going to exhibit your behavior of interest, which is response to weather. This is a problem of the limiting behavior. The other one is reactivity. Yeah, reactivity is when individuals modify their behavior to suit social desirabilities or social expectations. You know, you may see some girls walking on the road and using their hand to pick their nose. But because they know if they see any guy walking or passing them, you know, they try to modify their behavior. They try to change their step and everything. Or you are in the library, you are pressing phone and somebody else passes, you try to swipe the book pages. So because you know the expectations, anybody in the library is expected to be reading and not sleeping or pressing phone, you know. So these kind of things, or another problem is one of the problems we also encounter in naturalistic observation. Yes, we will go deep about this in another course, not for this course, but for the purpose of this exam, yes, I 101, we understand that naturalistic observation considers the behavior we are researching in their natural setting, not wanting to obstruct or disturb them. Yes, and we often come up with two problems: reactivity and delimiting behavior. For other research techniques, we'll move to another channel, another video. Yes, we'll continue from there. Please remember to subscribe if you have not. Thank you, and see you in another video. Thank you very much.